Good morning and welcome back to another episode of Etsy Mailbag, which is basically people asking me questions and me giving you a short answer so you don't have to sit through 12 minutes of me trying to tell you to like and subscribe. Okay. The question today is why would Etsy raise fees if it's going to lose sellers because of that? Now, I've seen this question in many forums. I've seen people say, oh, they would never shut this shop down. They bring them too many fees. They bring them millions of dollars. Look, Etsy doesn't care. Etsy is a very large marketplace. And just there's been a recent investor presentation where they were actually talking about the number of sellers versus the number of buyers. And they said their priority is not to increase the number of sellers because they have too many. They want to increase the number of buyers, which is why they're starting this Etsy beta program about, Etsy, you can pay to have free shipping and all this kind of stuff. They want people to shop on Etsy. They don't need more sellers. And let's say that they raise their fees and or they change some kind of a fee structure, which I think is something is coming, but we'll have to see what shape that takes. People always lose their minds at first because fees go up. Okay, but fees go up everywhere. And I would hope that you're raising your prices occasionally because that's what happens when our expenses go up. You have to raise prices on the other end. And we all know that that happens everywhere. So if Etsy increases fees, people freak out and they'll say, I'm going to quit Etsy. Etsy doesn't care. They have plenty of inventory, meaning sellers on the site who have things to sell. And, if you think about it, they show 20 pages of search results now. They've rolled that back. They used to show 250 pages of search results for any given search query. Now they only do 20. That's around like 800 to 1,000 listings, depending on if you count ads or how many ads are on the page and that kind of thing. But that's not very many for each search query. And how many, let's say that you sell bracelets, okay? How many bracelets are there listed on Etsy? Probably millions. And if they only show 800 to 1,000, the chances of you being seen for that specific keyword are pretty low. Now, luckily, we have different algorithms that Etsy uses for search placement and different ways that you can find listings. But yeah, they don't need us. They don't need any one individual seller. And Etsy needs to increase fees occasionally. There's also reasons that they would increase fees or put a different payment structure in place. I honestly think that would be a good thing for the platform because at this point, there is no barrier to start an Etsy shop other than 20 cents. And that has attracted a lot of scammers and spammers and just people who are just in it to make a quick buck. And that devalues the site as a whole. Whenever you get that kind of an influx, it ruins it for everyone else. This is why we can't have nice things, right? So by putting a fee structure in place that is a little harder to navigate for some people, or they don't want to invest any money at all, then Etsy is able to get rid of a lot of the people that aren't willing to put $10 or $15 or whatever it is. And we saw a piece of this when they started charging a fee for opening a new shop to verify identities. And it wasn't just the fee, it was that you had to have a picture of your ID with you. You have to take a selfie with the ID. You have to have different documents to prove that you're you. And the number of scammers and spammers dropped. The number of fake shops there's things that happened around that time that tell me that that definitely did happen. And Josh had said, they've said in an investor presentation that the number of shops declined, the shops that were opening. And you know what? They don't care. So what you should do is start your own website or just sell on different platforms. You have to sell on multiple platforms because Etsy does not need any one individual shop. Everyone is expendable. That's true in most places in life. There are very few people that are not expendable. So no matter how big your shop is, no matter how much you pay Etsy in fees, you can definitely be shut down. And one of the people in my group is going through this right now because Etsy's kind of on a rampage taking listings down because the pictures are showing up in other places online. They've been stolen from her and other sellers, and people are putting them on Temu and AliExpress. But Etsy's bots don't think. Etsy's bots are out there looking for pictures. If they match them up, they take the listing down. And they're willing to do that because they have so many sellers and so many shops that they don't need every person on Etsy to be there. So don't Don't think that no one is expendable. Don't think that you're not going to get shut down. Etsy is running by a lot of automation right now, and automation makes a lot of mistakes, but Etsy is willing to take that risk because it is getting rid of other people who are genuinely bad actors. So that's all. If you have any questions or comments, post them. If you want me to address another topic, post it in the comments. It's unfortunate that a lot of shops are being shut down for no valid reason, and there's no appeal process on Etsy. They say that there is, but there really is not, because it's being done by automation. And like I said, automation doesn't think. They're just checking boxes and removing listings. So give this video a thumbs up. I will talk to you later. But if you do have a question you want me to talk about, post it in the comments and I will address it later.